Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a Thirsty Thursday, and we're running a deck I've taken to calling Crazy Thin. Slav Squirrel should deserve all the thanks for the base template of this deck, but he's been on stream with me. We've been making tweaks, and we're gonna find out how this works. It's a lot of fun. I have subbed in Dodric here. He is gonna get you a card, and then you put a card back. But he's in here for synergy with Snowdrop. Snowdrop's going to shoot to 12 points. When you drop her, shuffle the two cards back, and then play Leader. And Leader works really well with Offense, since he goes back on top if you select him first. Roach is in here, so you can use a Seer to get back Roach. We're going to try to get back Portal, but just depending on how thin your deck is, it's going to work really well for that. And then we're running double Infiltrators and Masters of Disguise with Collar, and then double Armored Cavalry, just so we can get the locks. I think if you wanted to add in another lock in here, that might be one good way to go. I think one option potentially would be to kick out Knickers and Menno and put in Letho and Ox and Serret. Probably clip out maybe one other card. But we're going to take this for test drive, see how it goes. Because we liked it crazy thin. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was trying to go to pro, Nilfgaard is not who I'd put my bet on. It's a struggle right now. There's some crazy stuff you can do to kind of just like ruin your opponent's day, but it's not super consistent, and there's a lot of stuff. Like, think about like V decks, right? Like, Nilfgaard would theoretically be the best counter for a V deck because there's some way that you could swap your unit with their unit using the Viper Witcher Alchemist. But there's just so much tutoring for the V that there's no way you can reliably capture that from your opponent. So, unfortunately, Nilfgaard is in a weird middle ground, not being able to do stuff. And we just ran into Arnagod on from Skellige, who is just a really strong counter to Colgrim. Colgrim gets a bunch of points at the end of the turn, but if you can't ever drop him down, you're never going to get value from him. And Lippy is looking very strong right now because of the provision cut to Roach and Knickers. You're just able to get so much value out of them. So we really are looking for Portal, and we want to put back our bricks. We'll save Knickers for the next round. So we did miss a lot of stuff here. That's unfortunate. We do want to hold Snowdrop till later. But we do want to just use Menno onto one of these coated weapons as soon as the opponent plays something that's worth sticking back on top of their deck. Shield Maidens might be an appropriate target for that, just because they get tutored out once, and we could force out another one of these leader charges from the opponent to get these back. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try, because, you know, that's fun. So because Menno is a gold card, Roach is going to come out here. But we do want to use our coded weapons just so we add back into this deck. Although ironically in a Lippy flip deck, coded weapons actually is a little bit not smart. But I think we can force him to tutor this back out again. They're looking to put some kind of status up here. And this lock on to Brokvar Hunter makes sense. We get our status, we get ready to tutor out our hunting pack. And we're going to take this deck probably to 3 and out here. Missing our portal really frustrates our gameplay. Just too much tempo from the opponent, not a ton we can do to pressure here. And the Lippy deck needs some time to generate the graveyard before it goes for the flip. Now you do always want to make sure when you play your portal, which we didn't get, that you're playing it to melee row, because the infiltrators have to be on melee at the end of the round, and then they go shuffled into your opponent's deck. Here the opponent goes for the damage, gets the Thin, plays the Totem, gets the Knickers. So they kind of have everything they want right now. We're just going to call this a day. Not a ton we can do here to get good value, and such. Alright, we finally get our portal. Now we just need to put one of these guys back, really, just in case we break into the other unit, the infiltrators. And I'd actually prefer to have double infiltrator this round, so this actually works pretty well for me here. I do like the armored cavalry with this master, just in case. We're going to put Knickers back. I'm happy to see often. You need often in your hand in order to use tactical decision correctly. Snowdrop works really well for Skellige as well here. We're just going to let her get up in value and then use Ivar to switch later into this round, because I anticipate the opponent's going to be drawing several cards here. Bernabran, also the Scalds. Lots of options. So there's our infiltrator. We're praying to get the other one out here. Obviously, you don't want to create more roaches. It's just a ton of value for the opponent. And I really don't want to create another Blue Boy Lugos either. So the opponent is going to go for the kill here. That's what I would do. You really don't want to deal with those infiltrators. He's down to 1 charge. I know he's not going to use it, so we can kind of do whatever we want here. I actually like the spamming the deck with more Blue Boy Lugoses, but we don't want to spam the deck quite yet because it has not flipped. We want to wait for the flip. We're going to go ahead here and just place Alba Armored Cavalry onto the Blue Boy Lugos. We want this Snowdrop to go up in value as much as possible. We do get the Knickers here. Portal's still cycling. And I think a Seer onto Roach makes a little bit more sense this game. That way we can just play this Master of Disguise and get value that way. Banishing a Savage Bear and to prevent it from getting into the graveyard might make some sense, but he already has the other one in here, so this one's going to get flipped anyway. There's Berna, which is the value we are looking for our Ivar. We shall do it my way. And he gets the double skirmisher. That's the play of a lifetime. Alright, I think we need to generate a little bit of tempo value here. We're going to go ahead and go for Snowdrop, show you guys how this works. So you're going to use Snowdrop, you're going to draw the 2 cards, you're going to put back whatever you don't want. I actually like Infiltrator here, so we'll keep him. Tourney Joust isn't all that helpful against the Lippy Flip deck. And Code of Weapons isn't helpful right now. It might be next turn. Then we go ahead and use Tactical Decision. That gets us Morvron. Just drop him wherever, it doesn't really matter. Now, the most important thing is you have to click on Often first. What you do after that is free candy. We'll save these Viper Butchers for next turn. It gets you out your Often. And here we have 2 engines that catch us back up. So the opponent is now down a card. So he's got to figure out some value here. This is a little bit of value for the opponent, but not enough. And we still have a couple more turns before we play Ivar. Now, one trick that I learned from Slav, you want to hold the Mata until you've played Kolgrim to get the extra turn on Kolgrim's Adrenaline. Now here we want Ivar onto this Snowdrop. We're nearly to the point where we can take a hero pass. Not quite yet. Now, one thing I could do here offensively, we are going to go first, but I could force this Saris back into his deck. That way he can't tutor out the Saris. It is at least 4 points of value for me, but it's likely 8 points of value because she would create the Shield Maiden and then tutor out the others. And he's going to... There's no way that he can tutor them out naturally with a Mata. Okay, Dodric is only in here for Snowdrop. I'd rather have Coated Weapons, I think, just because it is... he's 6 points of value here. Basically, because I know exactly what the other cards are. And I would rather the point value be onto Kolgrim. So that's perfect. We get our Viper Witchers. And here we're just going to go for a Seer to melee. And do exactly as I just described. We're going to force Saris back into the deck. That way he can't grab her with Mata. It does change the delta, but he is going to be flipping so many of these cards that it probably won't matter. There's the Lippy. Now, Morkvarg is an excellent target for Coated Weapons. We can target Lippy with these Viper Witchers. So we're getting the play we want here. Downside with Lippy Flip, obviously there's a 16-point card delta. So Kolgrim's just going to be gaining 16 points per turn. If we can get him to stick. So he'll go down when we only have 3 cards in hand, so we'll just be playing these Viper Witchers. Hey, welcome, Chairman Wu. Yes, I am filming. We're doing a new iteration of Slav's deck, but as FYI, Slav. So it looks like it would be exactly right with double portal. Right? Because she'd put it back, which would be a 3rd card. So it would be, if you guys wanted to do double portal, this deck would get you exactly 0 cards left in deck. So Kolgrim will just get you pure value of whatever the opponent has here. So here we did see Neuromancy. The opponent was able to hold on to that. Still gets them 11 points of value, which is pretty good, but it's not great. You'd never ever play Viper Witchers onto Shield Maiden. You're just giving the opponent value. Don't do it. It's a bad choice. These Witcher student tokens make sense. We'll be killing them. They're only 2 points of value. I guess, hilariously enough, so Mata is going to draw the opponent this Witcher student since she's going to give him their lowest provision cost card. So we will be giving him a two value Witcher student here. It's just the ultimate slap in the face. Alright, so Kolgrim needs to come down next, and we just pray that he doesn't have something like Heat Wave or something like that. Although I have seen a lot of Heat Waves played. But Kolgrim's just crazy value here, so he's going to come up to 15 points right now. Yurden would be highly problematic. And there it is. There's the darkness in our lives. That is Karathi Heatwave, a card that, in my opinion, should be banned from the game because it just ruins all the fun. Here we're going to get Dodric. which is fine. He's 6 points. So, and the whole reason for holding this Mata, if they didn't Heat Wave, Colgrim would have gone off again this turn, again next turn, and again the turn after that. And you're counting this 14, at least 13, I'm guessing, point delta for each of these turns. We would have seen likely somewhere in the neighborhood of a 60-point Colgrim. But there we go. There's the 0 provision unit. Should we do Defender instead of Vilgi? So we had included Vilgefortz originally in this. I'm just talking out loud on stream. We had included Vilgefortz originally in this because... so one point here. Mata is an agent, so Dodric gets you immediate use. And you can go ahead and use him. Obviously, you know what you have, so you can do that. So we also include Vilgefortz because when your unit gets down to 2 points or 1 point, Menno being a good example of this, where he's just at 2 points, you could intentionally, because it is a hyper thin deck, erase that card and then summon the card to a row. Notably, it is to a random allied row, so that would be problematic for Dodric, who would be the likely target. So here I'm thinking about swapping Vilgefortz for a Defender. And here it doesn't really matter much what you do. So the cool thing about Dodric in a round with Snowdrop is you just get crazy good value on the Snowdrop. But, I mean, I can't say if not for the Heat Wave purely, but had we included a Defender, we would have been clean and clear. Colgrim would have survived, and we would have won. So let's make that change. As soon as I make that change, the opponent's going to play like V or something. So let me just check here. You know who I don't love here is Ivar. Let's just change him to a Defender. I know other people do love him. I just don't. Everybody else is working according to plan. I'm going to upgrade Tourney Joust. I'm going to upgrade Tourney Joust into... I mean, like, Ivar got us what? He did a swap for the 6, so he gave us 10, and he took away 6 from them, and gave us... He took away 6 from the opponent and gave us 10. So he's a 16-point play. Fifion's worth more than that. Okay. So we're going to go for Assassination here. Just as like a red coin punish play. Alright, we can jump into another game here. Try to get wins with Nilfgaard. It's tough. Yeah, Yrden would really be the only problem we'd have in a Lippy flip deck. If I was a player playing a Lippy flip deck, I would be using Igni, not Heatwave. First off, because I'm morally opposed to Heatwave and its existence, but Yrden gets you around the Defender problem. It also kills multiple units. You like long rounds as a Lippy flip deck. So it feeds better into that. And Heatwave only gets you 1 unit. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Alright, so the problem now is we have to hold off until round 3. He goes back. He goes back. And then this is the one benefit we get from Dodric here. Dodric is gonna shuffle him back in, or rather shuffle him to the bottom, and then we'll just go through the deck until we get him onto the top, and then he will appear onto the row. as long as it's not bugged. Don't think too hard about it. We're going to go ahead and go for the lock here. It's value for our master, and it just prevents value for the opponent. We have double locks, and we get hunting pack. So it's just kind of all around strong value for us. Hey, thanks for joining, Slav. And it's always a riot trying your decks. As our resident Nilfgaard expert, you always bring the spice. Imperials make sense here. We're going to go for Master of Disguise. Probably should have respected Assassination. But Coded Weapons is also problematic here with Nilfgaard, so. We'll take either. I do like using Coded Weapons onto like Imperial Brigades, though. It's just fun. Everybody has fun. Yeah, here it comes. There it is. Snowdrop also can get us the off and play. We just have to wait for a later round. I would like to get out a gold card here, but we don't really have that option. Oh, card delta is going to be problematic here for us. And we'll put Lamp Gin back on top using Coded Weapons here. We can use a Seer to force back in this Coded Weapons and get out Roach. I don't want to do that, but it is a play that can work here. Turning Joust onto Viper Witcher doesn't make a ton of sense, but who am I to judge? We're going to go down to 14, so Seer here is 9 points of value, which ties us with the opponent. Obviously not my preference, but at 5 cards, that's acceptable. Tourney Joust is much better to cycle back into the opponent's deck here. So this is perfect for us. Force the Tourney Joust back in, get out our Roach. And I forgot all about the bleed. Maths. Alright, so he is going to get a Tourney Joust. It is shuffled back in, so we should anticipate it. We know this isn't like a Radea deck. Alright, just really digging for Portal here. I'm going to put back Master of Disguise just in case, and we just don't get any such luck. Oh, man. Look, long round is fine here. Just like terribly bad luck. We're just going to go for Snowdrop because why not? That's nice. That's not. We gotta hold off until later. We'll keep the Infiltrator and play that pretty soon here, I think. All Armored Cavalry might come in clutch. We'll put back Coded Weapons since we can grab it with Menno. And we'll just put them back. Alright, so the play here, we're gonna play our Menno. It's likely gonna come down, but it's fine because we can portal it out. I would prefer to use Snowdrop with Dodric. It's more value, but here I just needed a chance to grab this portal to thin out a little bit. We're in a bit of a tight pinch. Missing Colgrim. And we don't have leader. Lockdown just coming in really obnoxious here. He's either gonna love what he has in his hands or be out of options to play Roderick right now. I hate when I can't see what the card is. Goltor Geved makes sense. Maybe a Viper Alchemist is interesting here. We get the free Infiltrator and he takes our hunting pack. Can't complain about that. And here, even if we go down a bit, that's fine. He gets the lucky draw to tutor there. Kind of gonna lose this no matter what, but we're just gonna try to force up the card delta as much as possible. These deck spam lists are just not good in the mirror. A lot of struggle there. Oh my gosh. Just all the rough stuff he didn't want to draw into. Alright, so if you're keeping track, we've spammed with an Infiltrator twice. They flipped us with one. And so now we have double Infiltrators still, plus double Masters. We're just gonna take the pass. We got the bleed we wanted. The portal in this game is just tempo. We're both gonna end up with probably about the same number of cards in deck. Mata's perfect here. Oh, I just don't love these. She does get us Portal, but we've missed Dodric and we missed Colgrim, and it's just kind of over for that. The best shot we have now is playing Vilgefortz and praying that we get Dodric, probably. Otherwise, we're just playing often for 5 points, which is horribly underwhelming. We don't get any locks with Disguise, but they don't know that. We do need the portal soon because we do have to wait 3 rounds. Just baiting out the removal. The problem with both decks being relatively hyper thin, just purely that the card deltas are going to be too close for Colgrim to find any kind of value. We're just holding Vilgefortz here. Colgrim's not that valuable. You know, we have a chance of getting Guardian, so we're probably just going to use him offensively as final say. Oddly, often might be good here, just to force the opponent to do some stuff. So, Gotorgvid forced the card back into our deck, which is fine. Honestly, as I said at the beginning of this video, if you want to climb up to pro rank, Nilfgaard is not the way to do it. It's just struggling, but this deck is fun. Yeah, this swap with Mata plays for a few points, no doubt, a few points, but it's just not crazy good. have no idea what I'm going to get with the Vilgefortz. I do know that he has a lot of crap that I've forced back in using my coated weapons. Jens Invo there looks pretty mean. But this erasure of Kolgrim probably makes the most sense in normal games, but here you can see that card delta is just not very large. I do want to say, if I were to erase this Ivar, which I'm leaning to do, then Kolgrim's going to go up by 2 points, but it's only going to do it once. There's a greater than 0% chance that this pulls out something worth 5 points, though. But there's nothing here that gets me a good trade, so we're just going for it. I'm actually going to take care of Nausicaa Sergeant since it represents value. We pull out a 1.50 on. This Kolgrim's going to go up by 2 points. But that's pretty much as good as it gets for us. We're just going to have to see what the opponent plays here. But Leo not able to find any value. We don't have any Witchers, and he just plays for 3 points. Kolgrim goes up by 2. And there you go. A win in the mirror. That was a brutal game. We'll jump into another game and hope for something a little bit spicier with a little bit more fun. You know, one thing you can do in V decks, nobody ever leaves a V on the board. But if they ever did get stuck with a V on the board, you can copy the V. That way when they're tutoring out their highest provision card, it'll be one or the other. Again, virtually impossible to get it to work. It'd be better to just lock the card. Oh, another mirror. Alright, we're going to put these guys back since we get the portal. Sucks to get Roach, but that's okay. We have one of the masters, so we're not going to get both of them at least. We have double hunting pack, we have Roach. So basically we're going to be playing Vibrant Witcher, Coded Weapons, and Portal this round, and calling it a day. Not a whole lot else we can do here. Unfortunately, we just kind of like bricked into all the bricks. Hopefully we can get out Knickers. We'll get out both of these guys. And then prep for a better round. Next round. Hey, Lionel, good to see you, man. I'm doing well. We're doing Slav's Nilfgaard deck that just won in a mirror match by 5 points. Look, this removal is obnoxious, but I'm not about to spend my code weapons to give him another assimilate engine. We'll be saving this for Magic Lamp. It just has no card synergy, no engine value. And I mean, if he removes the Infiltrator, it's annoying, but it's not the end of my day. Where it is going to force up the highest provision cost card that I have, which is Mata, since we played the Portal. She's good. The question is, do I want her now? Do I want her later? I would prefer to use Tactical Decision with Snowdrop. If you're really worried about it, you could go ahead and play it. I would only get Mata, though, since I'm at 9 cards, which just isn't all that exciting for me. I'm probably not going to double the Portal, so... Well, actually, let's try. Here we're going to go for Viper Witcher on the Slave Hunter. Not my preferred option, but it'll work. You can use Viper Witchers to set up Code Weapons Kill and get the same unit back on top of their deck twice. It's something you can choose to do. Alright, so we get a Diviner, and he gets Armada. That's bad luck for us. My favorite deck post expansion is Precision Strike, Scoia'tael Movement. Most fun. It's not like guaranteed win. I've won a ton of times with it. I mean, nothing's a guaranteed win, but okay, that's fine. That's the second one, so unless he has Gotor Gavid, he's done with the Alchemists. These mirrors are just obnoxious. Now, without Mata, I have absolutely no reason to go dig. Oh my gosh. I'd rather get them this round. Okay, we do helpfully get Dodric, which can help you with problems like Knickers. I anticipate the opponent's going to want to play some of my stuff. I like Lampkin here for two reasons. One, we get rid of him. The opponent was expecting it. And we get Roach out. Mata is our agent. It's a bit unfortunate to see it get played right now by the opponent, but Infiltrator is what we get, and I'm actually kind of happy with that. Notably, Infiltrator is also an agent, so we're going to play him. Gets us a heads-up play, but also sets up the Zeal for Dodric. Dodric gets Zeal whenever there's another agent in play. And we're just going to cycle through till we get Snowdrop and Often. And the longer the opponent takes this round, the better for us, I think. Unless they play ball, in which case we should just pack it up and go home. It has to be an enemy unit that has status. Oh, this is rough. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this just so we can get the thin. And here we're just putting back Knickers. Hoping he comes out to be our friend. This lock is brutal. Especially since the opponent had given us a Purify before. It's a bit of an overcommitment by the opponent. So this is a question of how much value we want to defend. And I'm actually kind of leaning towards a bit. A bit of value. I'm going to do something a little weird here. We're going to lose some of the value on the battle prep just to play around something like a Vincent. Also gives some more girth to Infiltrator. And we're targeting Vilgefortz onto this Glynis. I want to set up the bleed on something that won't actually die. I was hoping to get something that didn't have poison, but Fangs works. I don't want it to die because I want to be able to get out Hunting Pack. Jeez. Poison's done. Colgrim's useless for the opponent here. Oh, sorry, it is the difference. Sorry, so it's not totally useless per se. There comes Knickers. So now we have some better grabs. Dodric is dead. So here I can actually go for a Seer onto Dodric. Oh, I feel like being crazy today. I like Menno, I like Assassination, I don't like the lock so much. But this is worthless. He's not good to me right now. Although actually he has some engine value. I can grab that with Menno. Yeah, this is, Albert Cavalry's more value. We just really sucked our draws. Missing Snowdrop, missing Affen, missing Dodric. Ugh, you definitely don't want to put Home Slice back on top of their deck. And now the opponent just has tons of assimilate value. There's not much we can do about it. Here we're going to throw down the lock on Thirsty Dame, because why not? We probably need to get this Colgrim out. It's rough to watch Nilfgaard on Nilfgaard violence. Vilgefortz is an interesting choice. I would have definitely gone for the Colgrim. Gets out the hunting pack that he put back on top. So again, weird. There's just no way we can close this point gap. We're gonna get close to the Vilgefortz erasure here. But the ball plus assimilate engine value is just too much. We needed to be able to pressure more in round one, and despite having so many tutors, so many draw consistencies with Snowdrop and Dodric, we just missed everything. That happens. You won every game, it certainly wouldn't be fun. We're going to go for Menno here. We want coated weapons. Let's go ahead and put this Fangs back. Just not quite enough value onto our Colgrim. Alright, we'll play one more game. And I'm at 0, so we'll just auto lose if this is another mirror. Stop playing Nilfgaard. Let me just make videos about it and laugh at them. Nilfgaard is not good. I mean, that whole series that we just saw get played was because they were able to get my Mata, right? So, I don't know. Alright, we already beat one lockdown. I'm serious about my threat here. We're just going to go ahead and give the opponent the win. I just want to show you guys one game that's not Nilfgaard. The Lippy Flip deck was totally in our favor, and we needed the defender, which we've soon after added. Had we had the defender for that matchup, I think we would have been rolling in the dough. Alright, Thrive is fun. Thrive is different. Question is this a V version? So I like the engine value of double masters, but I think I'd rather have double infiltrators. I know I'm going to get that because of Mata. I'm going to set up the bleeds and the locks to get some good value out of the hunting pack and out of Master of Disguise here. And we'll just have to wait and see which version of this deck this is. So here I'm just going to go for the lock immediately. I get most value over time with that. Sets me up for this Master of Disguise, and I can just kind of keep playing cards here. And you guys noticed before I did say you can play the model late with the Colgrim. That works exceptionally well. Drowner's decent value, but doesn't make a ton of sense here. Not ready to play these Viper Witchers yet. Get him out. We get Hunting Pack now. We're just going to kind of wait to see what the opponent plays. Viper Witchers onto these Bruxa make a lot of sense. Drowners could be problematic with Vifion and especially with Dodric. Certainly don't want to give him more Strigas. Do get out the Knickers. Want to save the Snowdrop for later. Plays really well with the leader. Alright, Wild Hunt is the card we want to get extra copies of. So right now the opponent will go down to 32 with the bleed, and we'll be at 24. We can get it with Mata. It's not my preferred option, but I think we can get the opponent to commit to one more card here. Alpha's not the bleed I wanted to see most, but he's certainly going to do the job. So we'll just take the pass here. See if we can roll into Portal on our own. And if not, we'll use Mata to grab it. But I want to prevent the opponent from using big units to feed an Ozril later on. So highest unit they have so far is a 6-point Alpha Werewolf. We're going to be giving him a 6-point unit anyway. Like to see Dodric here. Assassination isn't all that great. And we do draw into Portal, so much happier about that. It is going to be, hopefully, both of these infiltrators, but at least one of them. Now, Portal does have that 3-round counter, so you do want to get it out early. Seeing in Dregalarvas, I'm happy with that. And we'll just let this get up to 5 points and then use coated weapons to ruin its day. Alright, well, we get Master of Disguise, which actually, to be honest, works out well here. We do have the other Alba Armored Cavalry, so we'll get the lock on one of these larvas. Feeds us some value. And the opponent has to count this out. They do need to remember we have this portal ticking. So I like to get Dodric down, then we can get Snowdrop. And Master of Disguise is an agent, so that works well for our Dodric here. We need to start getting the consistency. Oh, we're going to go ahead and put him back. Although we could have taken him. I guess it would have been the other one. Sorry, we should have kept that one so we could play it again. Koshe is excellent thrive value. Just a total riot. We're going to go for Snowdrop here. We're going to do Snowdrop first, then Dodric. Here, put back this both of these coated weapons. Use Dodric now. We do get often. And we're going to go ahead and put back... Not the most in love with Menno right now, even though he is a tutor. And we'll save leader ability. But every time you're triggering this Dodric, it's 2 points to Snowdrop. We saw the Koshe committed here, so that's why I'm more than happy to drop it down. So this Koshe is going to spawn at best 2 more Andrega larvas, so I'm not super concerned about it right now. I would like to see... Asir is 7 now. Menno is 8, and I'd like to get Colgrim in hand. But I think we save this for next turn to do that play we were talking about earlier. Vilgefortz on the Koshe I don't love here. Just going to take Dodric. Oh. Alright. Just going to put Colgrim back. We do have to play a card, so we'll go Tactical Decision here. Running out of time. 2, 3. Asir's not great here. We'll put Offen back, then Asir, then Code Weapons, and then we can play Infiltrator. Woo! Was that a riot or was that a riot? I would like to try to get Menno back. I know he's close to the top now since we've just gone through Colgrim, then Asir, then Assassination. And those code weapons more recently. Goliath is great. Death Wish is the highest unit from the opponent's deck. So we just want to check and see what that is. Here it is, Asir, which is actually pretty nice for us. We'll put her back since that's what we're going to get. And we're just going to go ahead and erase this Goliath. Pulls out the Ghoul, gets us the Asir. We're already so thin, it doesn't much matter right now. And now we're just going to kind of probably, if the opponent's able to make up this much value, we'll table into exactly what we want with Dodric. Put the other thing back and then just pray to draw into it. Opponent wisely takes the pass. We have a 7-point card delta right now. Hopefully we draw into Menno. That'll become an 8-point card delta. Code of Weapons is not what we want. Assassination's even worse. There's Menno. The other one's Colgrim. Well, this is great, except these Code of Weapons kills. So go for Fifion here. We'll just put him on range since that's where all the value is going to be. And a lot of these Thrive decks don't run much of anything by way of removal, but some of them do run Predatory Dive, which would be obnoxious here, but would be wasting a Menno onto nothing. And Colgrim will come out next turn. So we do want the Menno first since he's going to come out next turn. Conqueror is great value for assassination here. Which the value I think is a little bit better. Just a little bit cleaner. Obviously we could have gone down. We could have gone up by one more card, but 10-point delta is pretty strong for us. I think that should be more than enough value. And we're going to get this other card anyway, so eventually it is going to turn to a 10-point delta regardless. Now we get it going. Yurden's going to be problematic. But we'll draw this out with Mata. Not this time, but the next one. This is great. He has no way of getting this back out again. And we know for a fact we're going to get this Code of Weapons, so I'm in no rush to kill off the Ikern because tallest consume for an Ozril is a Goliath. So I'm just going to let him have that as value. The opponent will have passed here, so I should have actually played this Mata first. That's my bad. So we would have prolonged this Colgrim one more. Unfortunately, the opponent will have already passed, and I may have lost us the game. But I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, we get more than enough here. Clear win. And there, I was just kind of anxious. I anticipated the last play was Ozril. He's baiting me into killing that Ikern. I will say, though, had we killed it with an actual death blow, it would have been banished, and people will probably ask that. But when you don't actually kill it, it doesn't count as the death blow because of its armor ability, right? The armor does not count. So for anyone who's gonna backseat drive here, which is I always welcome, that just know that that the banish from coded weapons would not have worked because it does not count as a death blow unless the coded weapons finishes off the unit by itself. Just removing the armor on an Ikern so that the Ikern dies is not sufficient. Vilgefortz into an Ikern will also kill the Ikern immediately, which is a lot of fun. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Until next time, good luck on the path. Get out there. Keep on Gwenting.